Hello, everyone. For years, one of the loudest narratives pushed by a section of the UK media has been the idea that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, somehow became a Hollywood outsider after stepping away from royal duties. So headlines repeated claims she had burned bridges, lost influence, or struggled to maintain powerful connection in California. But in the age of social media, carefully crafted tabloid narrative can collapse in a single moment. And this week, the moment arrived courtesy of Kris Jenner. Yes, that Kris Jenner. The woman often described as the queen of PR, the mastermind behind one of the most influential celebrity empire in the modern entertainment, just sent the internet into absolutely meltdown with one simple Mother's Day post. And according to thousands online, the message was crystal clear. Meghan is not isolated, unwanted, or irrelevant in Hollywood. In fact, she may be more connected than ever. So the viral post immediately sparked conversation across social media platforms, with fans pointing out how dramatic its contradicted years of negative reporting from certain British tabloids. While newspapers continue recycling stories about, Meghan being shunned by elite circle, Kris Jenner actually showcased support for Meghan's lifestyle brand as ever in front of millions of followers. And suddenly, the narrative changed. How? The timing alone was impossible to ignore. Mother's Day is one of the most emotional, engaging and commercially powerful day on social media. Celebrity posts during the period, they are carefully planned, highly visible and designed for maximum attention. So Kris Jenner understands branding better than almost anyone in entertainment. So people online quickly noticed that this was not some random accidental mention. Because to many observers, it looks intentional, strategic, and incredibly effective. But now, let me tell you one thing. At the center of the buzz were Meghan's as ever candles, which Kris highlighted in a warm and elegant way that instant trigger headlines everywhere. Because fans describe the moment as subtle but powerful. So the product appear polished, luxurious, and perfectly aligned with kind of curated aesthetic domestic celebrity lifestyles culture right now. And perhaps most importantly, Kris Jenner did not treat Meghan's brand like a charity case or a fading celebrity side project. She presented it as aspiration, stylish, and relevant. So that one detail completely shattered the image UK tabloids have spent years trying to create. Online reaction exploded almost instantly across X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. People pointed out the obvious contradiction. If Meghan was supposed finished in Hollywood, why would Kris Jenner publicly align herself with the brand? Why would one of the most media-savvy women on earth voluntarily attach her name and image to Meghan's product if there was no value in the partnership? So the answer many fans arrived at was simple: because Meghan still carries enormous influence. In fact, some commentators argue this moment exposed a deeper misunderstanding between traditional UK tabloid and modern African celebrity culture. So British royal reporting often operates through hierarchy, scandal, and palace drama. So Hollywood branding, however, operates through visibility, networking, image, control, and strategic collaboration. So Meghan may have stepped away from royal life, but she entered an entire different ecosystem. One where personal branding can become billion-dollar businesses. And Kris Jenner knows that ecosystem better than anyone. Because for decades, Kris transformed her family from reality television personality into global commercial giants. From beauty brand to fashion lines to streaming deals, the Kardashian-Jenner empire practically invented the modern influence business model. So when Kris publicly acknowledges a brand, people pay attention, not because of gossip, but because she understands market power. And that's why this sport hits so differently online. To many viewers, it wasn't just a celebrity sharing product. It was almost like industry cosign, a signal that Meghan's life brand becomes with elite celebrity business culture rather than outside of it. So the UK media, meanwhile, appear completely caught off guard by how viral the reaction became. What should have been a routine celebrity Mother's Day exchange quickly turned into another major conversation about media credibility and long-running attacks against Meghan. So critics of the tabloids began resurfacing years of dramatic prediction, claiming Meghan's career will collapse after leaving the royal family. Yet, despite all the negativity, Meghan's continued securing high-profile partnership, major streaming deals, speaking engagement, and now visible support from one of the entertainment's most connected family. And that disconnect between the media narrative and visible reality became impossible for many to ignore. Supporters of Meghan also praised the elegance of the entire moment. There was no direct response to the tabloid, no dramatic interview, no angry statement. Instead, Meghan's response came through quiet success, strategic branding, and powerful association. And in many ways, that may be the smartest move of all, because celebrity culture in 2026 is increasingly driven by perfection rather than traditional media gatekeepers. So audience actually are no longer really depends on newspaper to define who is influential. Social media allows celebrity to bypass all the institution entirely and build direct relationship with audience. Kris Jenner posts reach millions instantly without needing approval from royal commentators or tabloid editors. So that shift represents a huge cultural change. And as ever brands itself has become part of the larger transformation, fans describe it as calm, redefined, and international personal, reflecting Meghan's interest in wellness, home, and thoughtful living. So instead of chasing constant controversy, the brand project softness, warmth, and aspiration simplicity. For Kris Jenner highlights, those products therefore carry symbolic weight beyond candles themselves. It represents acceptance into very specific world of celebrity entrepreneurship, the same world that turned lifestyle branding into cultural empire. And not when one of the most powerful women entertainment public celebrates your brand, not when your product go viral because of positive celebrity attention rather than scandal, and certainly not when social media audience can see the contradiction for themselves in real time. So in many ways, this Mother's Day moment was bigger than candles, branding, or celebrity gossip. So it highlighted the growing gap between outdated tabloid storytelling and the reality of modern digital influence. While newspaper continue recycling old talking points, public perfection keeps evolving, and Meghan's appear increasingly comfortable building a future outside the boundaries those narratives tried to create. So Kris Jenner may not have directly addressed the UK media, but according to the internet, she didn't need to. One viral post said everything.